Ooh. Top 10 of 2024 so far is looking good. What's up, beasties? It's me, Triple B, your friendly neighborhood bearded book beast. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so pumped for this video today. We are halfway through 2024, so I figured it's time to talk about my top 10 books I've read so far this year. It's a great list. I'm excited to share it with you. I have read some really good books so far this year, and I'm excited to share with you my top 10 books so far. So without further ado, go ahead, if you haven't yet, pause the video, grab yourself a snack, maybe a thirst-quenching refreshment, such as a Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero Sugar. Sit back, relax, and enjoy my top 10 books I've read so far in 2024. Savor the moment, and let's do it. Number 10. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I have not watched the show yet. I don't currently have Apple TV, but I need to get it because everyone is talking about the shows on that streaming service. I miss the days of old with cable. You just had cable and you had all these channels and you had it all. Now there's a streaming service for every different show, but I got to check this one out because I love this book. I heard they're different, which is cool. But this was so good. I flew through it start to finish. It's a shorter book. This was my first Blake Crouch book. I really enjoyed it. Very sci-fi. If you haven't read it, focuses on the main character, Jason Dessen. He gets abducted on his way home from a bar to heading back home to his wife and son. And the next thing he knows, he's left in this warehouse. He wakes up and he's in a different world that's just like his, but nobody knows who he is. And there's another person that looks just like him living his life. So it's crazy, and it goes off from there. But really cool book. I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to reading Upgrade and what's the other one? Recursion next, then Upgrade. Because Blake Crouch is an awesome author. Excited to get into him and eventually read The Pines too, because that sounds good. All right, number 9 is Lone Wolf by Greg Hurwitz. This is the 9th book. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 9th book in the amazing Orphan X Vigilante series. Evan Smoke is the main character. He is extremely cool. An awesome series. He helps others as the No Way Man. A very realistic, well, as realistic as a vigilante could be. There's no superpowers, anything like that. No superheroes, no costumes. But he has an alter ego so that he can blend into society. He has a certain set of skills that he can use to help others. And he has a endless bank account for all the tech and gadgets that he needs to use. He's slowly found family and sidekick, and there's twists and turns, and there's an overarching plot, and then there's a creature of the week or a person of the week he has to help as the No Way Man, and a villain of the week of the book. And I love this series. It's so good. One of my favorite series. Definitely going to do more content on this soon, but this was the newest one that came out this year. I really loved it. Can't wait for the next one. Number 8 is Harbinger of Justice by Andrew Watson. This is a self-pub book. Andrew is a fellow booktuber. His booktube channel is awesome. I'll link it down below if somehow you are at my channel and haven't found his yet. He's amazing, but he is an awesome author and writer, and I love this book. First of all, it's a beautiful hardcover. I'll show you. If you haven't seen my video where I showed it before, the naked hardcover is just as pretty. And this book, the writing is just as good. Look for a review on this later this week. but this book was so good. It is a fantasy world and it's set in a desert type land, and the characters have shadow magic, where it's almost like their shadows are alive. They're a spirit, a magical spirit kind of within that has its own personality, and they help each other. And it's just so good, so good. The main character, I really love him, Ray. I'll have to ask him eventually how you pronounce it, but he's really cool. He's my favorite character in it. But I also like the other character, Naya. She goes through a lot of tough stuff, but it's just so good. And the secondary characters are great. I can't wait to talk about this in a review, and can't wait to read more in this world. Just got his new novella, set a prequel in this world, and I just started that, and it's really good. Can't wait to give you my thoughts on that as well, but this is awesome. Number 8, best book I've read so far this year is Harbinger of Justice. Number 7 is one I read in May, Silver Blood Promise by James Logan, his debut book, and it was so good. I really enjoyed it. Loved the characters. Loved Lucan Gardova. Yes, Lucan Gardova. Really loved Flea, but loved all the characters, and I even loved a character that came near the end. I won't spoil anything, but kind of a mysterious figure, and she was awesome. So I really loved this book. I love the world and the characters he's created. His writing is very, what's the word I'm trying to think of? His writing is very digestible. The banter is great between all the characters. There's good action, great mystery, lots of twists and turns. It's just really good. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next one to come out. This was a great book. Number 7 that I've read so far this year. All right, number 6, Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. Love this book. Love the great coats. I cannot wait to get into book 2. This was so good. I really enjoyed it. It's like very Three Musketeers feel to it. Great banter between 3 friends who were part of the famous great coats that have disbanded. And this follows Falcio Valmond, who is the main character from his point of view, and then his 2 friends, Kest and Brasty, and they're just awesome. They're so much fun to follow. The great coats have kind of become a laughingstock. People look down on them. No one remembers all they did, and they don't have the same power and influence and people don't think as highly of them as they used to, and they get framed for something. They're on the run, and madness ensues. But it's really good. This is an awesome book. If you have not read Great Coats, you should. And I'm definitely gonna rock and roll and finish this up. So I cannot wait to get into the rest of the series. This was really good. My number 6 book. All right, we're into the top 5. Number 5, Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. This was so good. I really enjoyed this one. Read it earlier in the year. And I have the 2nd and 3rd book already because I love this one so much. Can't wait to get into that world and finish out this trilogy and see what Richard Swan does next. Really cool guy. When I ordered the 2nd and 3rd book from him and had him sent over, just really nice to talk to. And he is a great writer. These were awesome. This book was awesome. I love the world. Love the characters. It's from the point of view of, oh gosh, why am I not remembering her name? I love Van Vault. Conrad. He's like an inspector with some magical powers, kind of like Sherlock Holmes. And what is her name? Why can I not? Helena. Gosh, how did I remember? She's a very cool character. She's his understudy, and there's just, this book is so good. It's got so much like just this impending dread and darkness, and just this tense feeling throughout the whole thing. And then whenever there's any kinds of battle scenes and stuff, there's a lot of dialogue and buildup and law and things going on. But when it does get to the battles, they're very visceral and like dark, and you just, I mean, at the end of the book, when you get to the big battle scene, you start thinking, oh my gosh, is anyone going to survive this book? But it's just so good and gut-wrenching, and I don't know, I just loved it. And I cannot wait to continue and see what he does with the rest of this trilogy. So, Justice of Kings, awesome book. Number 5, best book I read this year. Number 4 is Hero of Ages, the third book and final book of the Mistborn Era 1 trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Loved the series. I read Mistborn in 2023, and then I read Well of Ascension and Hero of Ages in 2024. Out of the trilogy, probably Mistborn, the first book, is my favorite, but I did really enjoy Well of Ascension and Hero of Ages. Wrapped it up nice, had a crazy ending I did not see coming, that grew on me the more I sat in it. Even at the time I wasn't super happy, but love the world, love the characters, love the magic system, and I love Brandon Sanderson's writing style. You know, I still think that even though his writing, even though his writing is digestible and easy for anyone to jump into, he can write some pretty sentences. And he does some really good internal dialogue with your characters, and you get to know them and just fall in love with them. I cannot wait to get into Stormlight. Got through Mistborn Era 1, getting through Warbreaker now, and then I'm going to start Way of Kings soon, and I love his writing and his world, the Cosmere, and I'm just having a blast with it. So Hero of Ages was the number 4th best book I read so far this year. Third best book I read so far this year. Now, these are all heavy hitters. This was hard to decide between these top 3. But in the end, number 3, Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. Ooh, I love this book. I'm reading Empire of the Damned right now. It's so good. Gabriel De Leon is a new favorite character of mine. Jay Kristoff is a new favorite author. Pretty much bought every book he's ever written now, just based off my enjoyment of this. And these books are just gorgeous. The artwork that is throughout them. Let me see if I can. Let me find an early one that doesn't spoil anything. But just every once in a while you get these beautiful artwork because Gabriel De Leon is a Silver Saint vampire hunter, and it starts off with him being imprisoned by these vampires, and he's basically telling his story to one of the vampires that are holding him captive, and that vampire is interviewing him, asking him questions, and also drawing sketches. And then so the drawings are the sketches that he's making. Like there's one just, that's terrifying. But yeah, just what a great story, what a great book. Really love it. If you are on the fence about this book, go for it, because it is so good, and you will just lose yourself in this world and in these characters and really enjoy it. It was the 3rd best book I read this year so far, and it was in my top 10 of books I've read all time, which tells you these next 2 are also on that list. It's been a good year. So let's move on to the top 2. All right, number 2, second best book I've read so far this year is Howling Dark by Christopher Rocchio. Oh, I love Sun Eater, love Hadrian, love this world, the characters. I really loved Empire of Silence and The Lesser Devil, the novella set in between. But then when I read this, it was even better, like expanded the world, expanded the characters. You still only get Hadrian, but Christopher Rocchio is just so good at still fleshing out the other characters around Hadrian, even though you're only seeing it from his point of view. You just love all the characters, and they feel so alive, even though sometimes in a first person story or book you don't get that, and he's just so good at it. And I love this world he's created and all these different alien species, and oh, it's just so good. This was an excellent book. Cannot wait to read Demon in White. I am doing that very soon. It's very hard to not just pick it up and read it, because I know that one is a lot of people's favorites, and I cannot wait to read it. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you know probably what this one is, but it's by my favorite author from my favorite series, It is The Wisdom of Crowds by Joe Abercrombie, the 9th book in his First Law world, the 3rd book in the Age of Madness trilogy, and the book that wrapped up First Law for now. Hopefully I'll come back to it someday. But this book was excellent. It was so good. Just did everything that he does. I loved. Great humor, just witty banter, amazing characters, plots that just go really fast but then slow down sometimes so you can enjoy the world and the characters. Great world building, twists and turns you don't see coming, stuff that just rips your heart out, endings that aren't super happy but very believable for this world and for just real life. So this was amazing. So it was such a great book, and it was the end to such a great ride of me reading through First Law over the last couple of years, and I cannot wait to read The Devils when it comes out next year. But this was excellent, and it was the best book that I read so far in 2024. So there you have it. There's my top 10 books of 2024. Who knows how any of that will be topped, but I have a lot of great books coming, and I know a lot more I'm going to find the rest of the year. So if you have not yet, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Tell me some of the great books you've read so far. What's your top 10 or top 3 or top 1? Or just say hello, because I love that too. So I hope to talk to you in the comments down below. And until I see you in the next video, devour those TBRs, be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. See ya.